Okay, Red-Haired Boy. Tune in the key of A. It's got a G chord, a D chord, and an E chord in it also. So I'll play it through at like a medium, close to full tempo so that you can hear the song. And then, sorry, I gotta adjust my camera. Yeah, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so as you can tell, there are four sections, two parts. Kind of like a lot of fiddle tunes, they break into A part, B part, obviously, but then you'll have the A part will be made up of two distinct sections, and the B part as well. So what makes that interesting with this tune is the second half of both the A and B parts are exactly the same. So we're actually going to start with that first. So this will be the second half of the A part and the second half of the B part. And once you've learned this one section, you've learned half the tune, and then we'll go back and learn the beginning of the A part and the beginning of the B part. Okay. So it actually starts the same as the beginning of the A part, so you get even more bang for your buck. But we've got E note on the D string, so second fret, and two open A's. And then we've got fourth fret, so a C sharp note, 5 up to the E, O to O, and then 4 5 again. So that phrase. So thus far. Okay. Now the next, we do 4 5 again. Lots of 4 5 in this tune on the A string. 4 5 open E. And we've got 5th fret open E. So that's a quarter note, downstroke, 5th fret, and then 5 2 0, down up down. Those are 8th notes. With the phrase before. And then at the end, pretty simple, upstroke, 5th fret, downstroke, 4th fret, and then 2 quarter notes on the open A. So the whole thing all together. Okay, so that's the end of the A part and the end of the B part. So like I said, you've learned half the tune. Now we're going to go back to the beginning of the A part to fill in the gaps. So it starts the same, like I said before. 2 O O, and then this phrase. So 4 5 O 2 O on the E string, and then 4 5 again on the A string. Same thing again. 4 5 0. But in the first thing I taught you, the second half of each part, we go up here and play this phrase. In this one, we play the same beginning, but then we go down to the lower A. So this is an A note up here, but also so is the A string, obviously. So we play 4, 5, O, and then open, open. And then we've got this scaly walk down. I don't know how to say that. 5th fret, A string, 4th fret, 2nd fret, open, 5th fret, D string, and then again. So that phrase. So the whole first half of the A part, slowly. All the same until here. Goes down to the open A, then the scale. So yeah, once you have that, then you play the same, the first thing we learned, which is the end. Okay, now the B part in this tune, you'll actually start a couple of notes, 1/4 note or 2/8 notes before the beginning of the next measure, which is a little bit weird, but you can think of it as a lead in. The downbeat is this G note here, 3rd fret E string, but we're going to play O, 2, 3. That's our downbeat, and it's important to feel it that way. So we end here on the A part. So we kind of go right into it. It's a 1/4 note length rest between the end of the A part and the beginning of the B part. So we have that phrase O, 2, 3, and then 2, O, and then 5, 3, 2, O, 5 on the A string, 5. All together. Yeah, pretty straightforward. And then we've got, and actually funny, I forgot to mention, but this is the same as the second half of the A part. So again, a lot of, like I said, bang for your buck in this tune. 4, 5, open, open, open on the A string. And then that scale walk down. 5, 4, 2, O, 5, 5. So the whole B part up till this point. Downbeat, 2, O, 5, 3, 2, O, 5 of the A string, 5. And then second part of the first half of the A part. That was a word salad. And the other scale thing. One more time with less jibber jabber. Downbeat. Good. And then all that's left is that very first thing that I taught you, which is the second half of the A part and B part. Cool. Play the whole thing again. So, sorry, my screen went dark. So that was one A part. I'm not going to play two, but you normally would play two. So I kind of play the end of that so you can see how it goes into the B part. So the end of the A part. Cool. Okay, so for chords, I'll kind of walk through them slowly. A, this 3-1 pattern, so 3 A's and then a D, and then 3 A's again, and then a G. I'm sorry, 2 A's, then 2 G's for the second part. Sorry, okay, from the beginning. 3 A's, D, 2 A's, 2 G's. Then we go back to that 3-1 pattern, 3 and D, and then 2, and then E7, or E, and then back. So you think about, it's 3A, 1D, that happens twice. Then there's 2A, 2G second, 3A, 1D, and then 2A, 1E, 1A. So the A part once again. Yeah. Okay, B part. Starts on the G. And it's a 2-2-2 pattern, I think. Don't quote me on that. We'll see. Yeah, it is. So G for 2, then D for 2, then A for 2, then back to G for 2. So D, sorry, G for the first one. Dun, da, 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 dun, dun, da, 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 dun, dun. And since our second half of the B part and the second half of the A part are both the same, the chords will also be the same. So 3A, 1D, then 2A, 1E, 1A. So altogether the B part. Sorry, I keep thinking the A part. Cool. Hope this was helpful.